Starting and growing a YouTube channel is a huge undertaking. It's difficult, it can be frustrating, and all of us make a lot of mistakes along the way. I mean, I certainly did, and chances are there are mistakes that I made back in the day that you are currently making, and I want to help you not struggle through that. I had a long journey of over 10 years of experimenting and making mistakes before I finally saw some success on YouTube, and I want to help you along that path so it doesn't have to take as long and so it's a lot more fun for you. So today I'm going to share the 6 most common mistakes that creators make when trying to grow a YouTube channel and how to fix them. Welcome back to another coffee chat with Katie. Let's all just admire this beautiful creation. If you've been following along on the coffee chat series, you know that I have a serious pumpkin spice latte problem. And this is my at-home vegan version, so I'm very excited about this. As always, let me know what you are drinking in the comments and let's get into it. Mistake number 1, you're not making the most of your gear. It's such a classic new YouTuber thing to think as soon as you start a channel, you need to go out and buy the fanciest camera and the best microphone. But trust me, that is a huge mistake. Look, I totally get it. I sympathize with that. When you're starting a new hobby, it can be exciting to get all of the gear and accessories that go along with it. But trust me, you're much better off at mastering the skills around video making before you start upgrading the actual gear that you're using. As cliche as it is, you can definitely produce really great quality results with something that you probably already have in your pocket. Let me prove it to you. I can film with just my phone and get this really nice looking clip with good audio because I'm using a little lav microphone, which I've just plugged into my phone, which is super easy to use. You don't even need that. Honestly, the audio straight out of an iPhone sounds pretty decent. Just for comparison, here's an example of the audio without the microphone plugged into my phone. But by utilizing my natural light and the back-facing camera on my phone, I can get results that honestly aren't that different from my nice camera. Really, as a beginner, it's just essential that you learn the basics of lighting, good framing, and good audio, and you can get really amazing results with the phone that you already have. You don't have to go out and buy expensive gear. It's only once you start bumping up against limitations with your phone, like you're trying to get a certain shot or get a certain effect with your video that you're not able to achieve with your phone, and you find yourself trying to do really hacky stuff to make it work, that's when you maybe want to consider investing in a dedicated camera. Which, if you want help doing that, I do have a free gear guide for new creators linked in the description. But honestly, start with your phone. Once you learn how to use whatever gear you already have to its fullest extent, that's when you might want to upgrade. Mistake number 2 is making videos for yourself instead of for your audience. This is honestly a tricky one because you need to be making videos that you enjoy making, of course. But honestly, a lot of beginner creators are kind of selfish about the way they go about making videos. They make videos talking about themselves, their lives, their interests in the style that they like, that's easiest for them. And honestly, I want to be clear, that is totally fine if you're okay with doing this as a hobby. YouTube is a great form of self-expression and a way to document your memories, and I don't want to discount that, but I'm assuming that you're here because you want to turn YouTube into your job, because people that do this as a hobby don't tend to look for optimizations like this. So we're talking about if you want to grow, right? That's not going to be the best tactic. Basically, if you want to have an audience, you need to think about creating for your audience. Create content in which your viewer is the main character, not you. For example, instead of just a basic day in my life video, maybe make a video that's about how to make your day 10 times more productive. So instead of making the video about me, I'm making the video about how you can improve and make your life better. Instead of a video that's like my favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe, it's a video about how this chocolate chip cookie recipe is gonna make all of your family love you. It can be literally the same subject matter. You're just framing it in a way that makes it applicable to the viewer, that makes the viewer care about it. Frame your videos around the value and the impact that you're gonna have on your audience rather than your own experience of creating or talking about the topic, and you will grow exponentially faster. Mistake number 3 is not including subtitles in your videos. This is honestly a mistake that I have made in the past, and I am definitely going to be rectifying it with the help of the sponsor of today's video, Rev. Having captions on your video content is so valuable for so many reasons. For one, it makes your videos more accessible because you have accurate captions that make it so people who can't hear what you're saying understand what you're talking about. But it also helps with getting your video surfaced in YouTube's SEO because it gives more information to YouTube about what you're talking about in your video. And it's also a huge leg up if you want to repurpose your YouTube content into any other form of content online. I personally think the best way to get your videos captioned is with Rev. You can get accurate transcriptions with turnaround time of less than 24 hours. And you'll have that transcription file so you can attach it to your YouTube video when you're ready to upload, but you can also use it in a bunch of other smart ways. You can grab the text from your video transcript and reformat it into a blog post for your website. You could also use it as the basis for a podcast script, or grab chunks of that transcript and turn it into Instagram captions. Making use of the accessibility and SEO advantages of captions, as well as all of the possibilities for repurposing, are great strategies for growth on YouTube that you don't want to miss out on. So you can try out Rev for your own video content using the link in my description. Another major mistake made by many YouTubers is being inconsistent. And this can honestly be one of the hardest mistakes for many creators to fix, but it's often because you're approaching it in the wrong way. Being consistent with my YouTube videos is something that I'm very proud of, and it's something that I prioritize a lot. And I often get questions from people asking how I stay motivated and inspired to make videos so consistently. And the truth is, I don't. It's an extremely common misconception that you need to feel inspired, creative, or motivated in order to make content on a consistent basis, when really, consistency is not about any of those things. You don't need motivation, you just need habits and routine. If your content creation depends on you feeling motivated, chances are you will create a lot at the beginning. When you're excited about your new YouTube channel, when you've got a ton of video ideas, you'll be super consistent. But eventually, one day, you will not feel motivated because it is a feeling, and feelings ebb and flow, and you can't depend on it always being there. And so that is why you need to build routines and systems that help you keep creating even when you don't feel motivated. For example, I have a weekly routine that I follow every single week to make sure that I get a YouTube video posted. I made an entire vlog about my weekly creative workflow, which you can check out, but basically every Monday's editing day, every Wednesday is scripting day, every Friday is filming day. It's Friday morning, so here I am filming. That kind of daily schedule really works for me, and it just means that I do these things automatically. I don't wait and think, oh, do I feel inspired to make a video? No, I've already scripted it. It's Friday morning, so I'm filming it. I also keep an ideas database in my Notion. If you've watched me for a while, you know I'm obsessed with using Notion. But basically, naturally, there's gonna be times when you feel really inspired and you have tons of ideas. There's gonna be other times when you don't have any. If I'm honest, right now, I am currently riding on all the ideas that I came up with probably about 2 months ago when I was going through a major burst of inspiration. And I've still got those ideas to depend on now, even though lately I haven't had as many. And that's okay. That's a very normal part of the creative process, which is why you need to be diligent about writing down all the ideas that you have when you have them, and then you will come to appreciate your past self when you are feeling less inspired. Basically, my point is consistency is not about inspiration or motivation like many people think that it is. It's actually completely about habits, routines, and systems and organization. Mistake number 5 is making a video without planning the title and thumbnail first. This happens a lot when creators are excited about what they have to say, or they're maybe in a new place or doing something cool and they just pick up the camera and start filming without thinking about how that is going to eventually be packaged into a video for YouTube. The thing about YouTube videos is you need to convince someone to watch them. It's not like an Instagram reel or a TikTok where it's going to potentially pop up on their For You page and they decide whether or not to scroll past. You have that opportunity to hook them, right? Well, on YouTube, you need to hook them before the video ever starts playing with a really effective title and thumbnail. And in fact, you need to do more than just hook their attention. You need to make them actually click on it. So you really, really need to structure this in an effective way if you want to get views. When you don't plan ahead, you set yourself up for failure because you're going to need to slap together some janky thumbnail using a screenshot that's really unflattering and just kind of make a title that you think makes sense. The most effective approach is to plan your videos in advance to the best extent that you can. I think there are 3 basic things that you want to make sure you plan before you start filming, if at all possible, and that is your title, your thumbnail, and your intro. These are three very important components. And you wanna make sure that they all work together as a team. Your title and thumbnail complement each other because you don't wanna have too much repeating information. These are two opportunities to grab attention. And then once somebody clicks, you wanna make sure that your intro reinforces your title and thumbnail so that people feel like they're seeing the video that they clicked for. This is the problem that often comes up when people try to retroactively create a title and thumbnail for a vlog, for example. You filmed a vlog, maybe you picked out some moment halfway through that felt like it was thumbnail worthy, and then you turned that into the title and thumbnail, but then when people click on the video, it's just a random vlog, so they're very likely to click away. This is why if you plan ahead, you can make sure that your title, thumbnail, and intro all reinforce each other and kind of affirm somebody for clicking on your video and say like, yeah, this is the video that you wanted, please keep watching, I'm gonna deliver on the promise I made in my title and thumbnail. I just wanna give a quick example because I know especially with vlogging, this feels difficult for people. So last fall, I did a big road trip around Italy and the Balkans. And before I even got on the plane, I planned out the titles and thumbnails for the vlogs that I was gonna make. If you're confused, I do have a second channel. It's called Katie and Dan in a Van. I make travel vlogs over there. And so of course, I didn't know before I left on this trip what might happen, what I might capture, what might catch my attention about the place I was in. But nonetheless, I was able to come up with some general concepts that could fit into a title or thumbnail based on the itinerary that I knew I was gonna take. I've also done this for other trips, like in our van or this other trip to Costa Rica. I think about it ahead of time and then I film a video to suit that title and thumbnail. And yes, there's opportunity for inspiration or new things to come up while you're there that could be interesting, but at least you've got a solid premise and you've got that title, thumbnail, and intro. This is even more straightforward for non-vlog videos because you're gonna be planning like a whole outline and script. So of course you can make sure that it all is cohesive, but I think vlogs is where people often struggle with this. I just wanted to give you a framework for that. Think about it before you start filming. Just simply title, thumbnail, intro. You can see where the story takes you from there and kind of build it together. But those are really the three essential components if you want to get someone to watch and then get them to keep watching. Mistake number 6 is giving up when you aren't getting the views that you want. As I mentioned in this video, 90% of YouTube channels will never reach the 1,000 subscriber mark. And for the most part, that is because people start very optimistically and then they don't go viral overnight, and so they end up quitting. YouTube takes a lot of time. I was on here posting videos for about 10 years before I hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel. And now it's become my whole career. This never would have happened if I wouldn't have kept trying. Even though all logic at the time would have said, Katie, it's time to give up. You should stop. But I cared too much. I loved creating videos too much to stop. And obviously, I was happy to keep creating whether or not people were seeing what I was posting. And eventually, that did lead to success for me. I really think if you want to be successful on YouTube, you need to learn to love the process. You can't be on here just looking for a quick hit of validation. Instead, you need to genuinely enjoy the scripting, the filming, the editing, and the storytelling of it all. Because when you enjoy that, then you're gonna be excited about posting more videos, even if you're not seeing the views right away, which you probably will not. It will take lots of time, trust me, I know. When you feel satisfied with the creative process of making YouTube videos and you're happy to keep on creating whether or not you're seeing those views and comments and subscribers coming in, someday when you do get that feedback from your audience, it'll just be a bonus. So if there's any piece of advice you take away from this video, it's honestly to not be discouraged if you're not seeing the results you want right away. You will never see the success that you're dreaming of if you quit. When you keep trying, you keep that door open for future success. And I'm so glad and I'm so grateful to my past self for doing that. No matter what mistakes on this list you might be struggling with as a YouTuber, I just want to encourage you and let you know that your dream is possible. There was many times where I felt like it wasn't possible for me, and I'm just so glad that I kept trying despite it all. In particular, if you find yourself struggling with the first point on this list where you're trying to figure out your gear setup and getting the best quality when you're filming, then I want to suggest that you check out this video that I made where I take you step by step through my filming process. If you've ever wondered what's going on around me, what light am I using, what camera am I filming with, I'm going to talk about all of this in this video, so go ahead and watch that next. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.